Thank you for attending the Conscious Creation Inspired Space. We again have our amazing, beautiful artists that are deeply spiritual, that are sharing a lot of information with us. Gerald Auger is a Canadian actor, producer, writer, entrepreneur, and motivational speaker, and a Woodland Cree descent. And Sass Jordan, singer, actress, television personality, Juno Award winner, and she is also here today to share with us. We had a we pre-recorded a session and we posted it, and we thought it would be great for everyone to listen to it and then come on board. We spoke about quite a few things, from duality to, connection to self. And if we wanted to open it up to people who had questions today or anything they wanted to share with them. So they're open for questions, but I just wanted to know whether they had anything else to share today. So Sass, Gerald, welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Well, first off, I want to thank Creator first and foremost for allowing us to be here today. When we ni peaks kwa ni miuk si madugagi meet peaks kuyun kapukaki kwam gani kan staya no muta kawe mam school chigian. So I thank the Creator again first and foremost for allowing me to be here. And I see the listeners that are here, and I see my little brother from London, England, Benjamin Clayton, is online listening. So thank you for joining us, Ben. So, and good to listen and speak to you again, my sister Sass Jordan.
Hey, Sass. Welcome.
I just have to.
That's okay.
I am a technological genius. I just have to. Well, I'm figuring it out. I got the mic on. I'm here. I'm happy, and I'm so happy that all these people are joining us in the space right now. Thrilled to be here with my brother Gerald, with Dee, and with all of you people.
It's fascinating. It's amazing how, the connection and just how we're sharing information, but we seem to be connecting the dots, and we're on the same page. But I also feel like the people that follow also are very close to us here, and they're really connected to what we're sharing. And especially you, Gerald and Sass. I wanted to talk more about, let's talk a little bit about the duality aspect of things and how people are sitting in that duality, and how they can come to that middle ground. Or is there anything, Gerald, that is coming to you right now? Because this is the 2023. What is happening for 2023 also?
Thank you, sister. Well, it's been interesting a couple of days. Well, it started getting interesting even more so for me after the solstice in December, after December 21st. And I've been experiencing multiple timeline shifts daily, multiple deja vus daily, and multiple synchronicities happening all at the same time. In the last couple of days, it's been a little interesting, and been having, I don't ever have insomnia, but the energy has been so intense. It's been a little challenging in a good way, trying to get the rest at the same time. But then these multiple downloads are coming, and some of the messaging that I've been receiving for 2023 is that it's going to be a year of natural law, both good and bad. Good natural law for those of us who've done the work, who continue to do the work, who continue to work for the light and walk towards the light and embracing this new world that's emerging. And unfortunately, for those who haven't been mindful, for those who haven't done the work, who have been selfish in their own way for not wanting to embrace the new world, they're going to unfortunately be visited by natural law, not in a good way. And the end result being to make that choice of to go walk towards the light, be the light, or struggle, and it'll be a little harder for them to either rise above it all or to be able to bounce back from it is the one part. And the other that I've been getting the last couple of days ago was that 2023 is where any false friendships, any false relationships that we have when it comes to romantic relationships like marriages or any business relationships that we have, any relationships that we have, if they are not coming from an authentic place, a lot of them will start falling away. And as those fall away, as natural law works, good things will fall into play. Good, healthy, authentic, genuine relationships will be replaced by that. So just been a mixed bag of energy in the last couple of weeks or so. But for me, because I don't celebrate the Gregorian calendar for my own personal reasons, and I follow the 1328, and this is a time of rest, reflection, and preparing for the next lunar year coming that begins after the spring solstice. So that's kind of where I'm at. How about you, sister?
That's fantastic. Sass, how about you? What are you getting from, I know you like astrology and you're connected to that. So I don't know if you have anything to share with that.
Well, I hear exactly what my brother Gerald is saying. It's been increasingly chaotic on one level, energetically, I'm speaking. And on another level, it's very interesting. I've found that I'm able to find a place of peace more easily. In other words, I can be in the middle of absolute chaos, and then suddenly it's like I bounce into this sort of this sense of serenity. And I think this is what we would call the difference between the 4D and the 5D. I mean, those are loaded terms, of course, and I think they've been explained far better than I could in many other arenas. But it's a fascinating, exciting, extraordinary adventure that we are on right now, and I think everybody is beginning to feel it. Even those whom we would have termed in the past as being asleep, even they are starting to go, what in God's name, or what in heck's name, or what in whatever's name is going on? Something is happening. I think it's starting to seep into the deepest recesses of humanity's collective mind. There's those that are out on the cutting edge, or the when I say the cutting edge, I mean those that are out there sort of pioneering the whole thing, and then there's the rest of us following along in whatever configuration we're doing so in. But anyways, all of this blah blah blah, I can talk until the trees until the leaves come back on the trees. I totally agree with you though, Gerald, as far as the Gregorian calendar and that kind of thing. We are in the deepest winter. This is not the beginning of the year according to the real calendar. This is this time of sleep, reflection, hibernation, where you get ready to come forth again into the new year, which starts in March after the spring solstice, or on the spring solstice. Yeah, exciting stuff, people. Woohoo! Scary though. I mean, it's a little intense. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I got to say right this second. On to you.
Well, yeah, I've been feeling I'm going to share a little bit about what's going on with me. I've been feeling a little bit of that intensity and chaos, and it's been pretty chaotic. But like you, Sass, I've been feeling a sense of groundedness. I guess when you do your work, there's an aspect to you that just already knows certain cycles, and so you understand that cycle, and you're saying no to it this time around. It's kind of like, no, it's not happening this way again. And letting go is is a lot easier. And I think that's probably why there's a lot more peace, because it's there's an acknowledgement, there's a knowing, there's an inner knowing that happens, at least now for me, because I'm so connected to myself, and connecting to the self is one of those big things that we talk about for sure. It'd be kind of nice to kind of share some of the connection things that both of you do to stay connected to your inner guidance, or your inner guide, or your spirit guide, or your spirit, or creator. What kind of things do you guys connect with? What is it that you do? Do you have daily practices?
Yes, I can take this one first, sister, if you want.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it. Go
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, for me, my daily practice is just sitting with and waking up with gratitude, and going to bed with gratitude as well. And I have my daily ritual of where I get up in the morning, I give my gratitude, give my thanks, get ready for the day. Then I get my smudge off from my tobacco and ask for that guidance, that direction, that protection for the work that I'm about to do for my creator. And then I'm mindful from then on for any people, places, or things that are put on my path for the day, to see where there is people looking for guidance and direction. And sometimes I'll get a download from creator and say, this, reach out to this one, they're going through something, they need some sort of guidance. And I see one of my sisters here listening, Lori, and we were speaking the other day. I just wanted to check on her, how she was doing and everything, how life and how her holidays were going. So those little things, right? For me, is just learning to live in the moment and being mindful. And last night, after the other message that I got, was because the world is going to start correcting itself in 2023, and to pray even more for those who have struggled, who have lost their way, and who are still lost in their own way, to have more love and compassion for them. But as well as, and I had another conversation with another fellow light worker yesterday, and we've come to live in a world where, when it comes to the words we use in our conversations, people can misinterpret those words of what they mean. And one of the conversations I had yesterday was when one of my light workers said, yeah, I try not to use the word healer, Gerald, because there are some religions or some faiths who don't see that as a good thing. And so I use the term a conduit, she said, that I am a conduit for. Creator said, you know what? That makes sense. And it is unfortunate that we've come to live in a world where it comes down to the play on words. And for us, as four-directional human beings, as the indigenous peoples, that for those of us that follow, our language is sacred and has a spiritual energy to it. So we are taught to be very mindful of how we share and what we share and how we share that as well, right? So, but for me, that's a kind of a daily practice, daily ritual, is sitting with gratitude and having an open mind and an open heart to learn and to understand that being a conduit for the creator, it's not the easiest job in the world, because we are dealing with people who are struggling in their own way and who tend to project initially any unhealthy patterns and behaviors as we try and help them, and having the patience and understanding that they're teaching us acceptance, that people are at a different level in their spiritual journey, in their emotional journey, in their mental journey, in their physical journey. Not everybody's at the same level, and that's okay. And we just have to learn to be able to walk together, work together, live together, and love together. So off to ya, my sister Sass.
Yeah. Woohoo. Thank you, Willis. It's definitely a daily practice that has to happen now, because there is no time other than the moment that you're in. That's a real big one right there. It's to realize The past does not exist, nor does the future. It's just now, and it's always now. It's never anything but now. As like Eckhart Tolle talks about that a lot. Well, that's his whole thing, really, isn't it? For me, I do a lot of the same kind of thing that my brother Gerald's talking about. I never ever get up without purpose. First of all, I'm excited I woke up back in the Matrix because I'm having fun in this Matrix. I'm telling you, this is a game. It's like a video game, and the not fun stuff is definitely not fun. Don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying it's all fabulous, but it's all so fascinating. And you start to see as you map out the day. When you wake up, if you have 5 minutes to yourself, 10 minutes, as much as you can take. If you've got an hour, even better. But you can write things out. This is my intention of the day. You can speak them. I always have a set of prayers that I use. I will do healing on the body if it's needed in that day, because I find that the physical body at this time is going through a hell of a load of SHIT because it's trying to keep up with these very high frequency light energies that are pouring onto our planet, into our matrix right now. So the body, is having a heck of a time. You'll find yourself with vertigo, with ringing ears, with stomach problems, with all kinds of bizarre stuff that you might not have had in the past. And you might also find that stuff that you've had in the past is recurring, coming back. You thought you beat it. You thought it was gone, but it's coming back up again. All physical things are definitely related to energetic states of being, which would be informed by one's emotional states as well as unhealed trauma. That's a big thing that's going on right now. It's like our old trauma from childhood, which is inevitably it's connected to childhood, is coming up to be dealt with. I don't think you have to necessarily know exactly what it is. You just have to keep saying, I am willing to let this go. Whatever it is that is causing this condition, this state, this feeling within me, I am willing to let it go. Creator, please come in and help me let this go. And I find that it's working a whole lot more quickly than it ever did in the past. It seems like things are just happening with such astonishing rapidity. I feel like 2023, I say this, it's not that I don't just feel this. I mean, I've read about it, I've heard about it, as well as the feeling that I have within myself. This is a year of revelation where we're going to start seeing the things that have been hidden historically for thousands of years, things that are so mind-boggling that you cannot even believe have been kept from you, all kinds of wild stuff. So you have to really every day center yourself, ground yourself, find your state of peace in some way. Even I do humming, believe it or not. I'll sit there and I'll listen to like a tambura, which is an Indian instrument that just has one sound that goes, and I'll just go, like it's amazing. Your whole body vibrates, and it's almost like you're resetting the tone of the sound and the water in the cells. It's all being reset to your own frequency. You're bringing yourself back into yourself, which is where you need to be. Because when you're not in yourself, everything that appears to be external to you is affecting you in all kinds of ways, up, down, all around. Forget about it, man. It's not about that. You've got to come into yourself. I hope I'm making sense here because I'm so excited. I tend to go off in thousands of different directions. I really hope I'm making sense. But if I'm not, oh well, F it.
You're making a lot of sense.
Okay.
It's so amazing. Yeah. A lot of sense. I also brought up Shadow Fox. She's also works in energy in the body, and she's had a lot of experience with this also. And yeah, Shadow Fox, did you have anything to share with Sass and Gerald?
Oh my goodness. Hello,
Yeah.
everyone. Hi, Gerald and Sass and Dee and everyone here. Oh, it's so great just to be in this space with you guys. Oh my goodness. The energy is phenomenal. So thank you for that. Yeah, when we take a look at how we set our day, right, with the gratitude, and I do the exact same things. I truly do. At one thing that I do add to it, though, and I would like to share, there's probably a couple of people that may have already heard this, so please forgive me for this. But what I do is I visualize anytime I see a doorway, that doorway allows me that briefest of moments to check my intent. For instance, it could be any door. Think about if you're driving down the road and, you might be late, or, somebody's cutting you off, whatever. What it can do is it can kind of wear on you a little bit. And so what I do is anytime I see a doorway is that I readdress my intent and how I would like to present myself on the other side of that doorway. It's the same thing of walking in from a living room into the kitchen, so maybe there was something that happened in the living room. You may have had an argument or something, right? So therefore, when I step into the kitchen, I've already released that. I've already been presenting myself. So every time I see a doorway, it reminds me to kind of keep an idea of what that intent is. And the intent would be like when I woke up in the morning, right? Being in gratitude and peace and blessings for everyone and expansion. So I just thought I'd put that out there. It's a neat little technique. Just a gentle reminder. You get into a car, where's your head at? So I thought I would share that because I think that it can help us, reevaluate and be little gentle reminders, like when you're coming home from work and you're entering your home, that's a whole new environment, right? You're not bringing the day with you. So I just thought I'd share that.
That's so great. Sass, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, I love it. That's awesome. Thank you, Shadow Fox. There's another little thing that I forgot. Guys, water. You need to drink water. I know you know that. Everybody knows that, but if you check out the work of Veda Austin online, I even think it's called VedaAustin.com. Water is multidimensional. You are multidimensional. Water is what brings it all together. So remind yourself to drink a couple of glasses in the morning, a couple of glasses in the afternoon, and maybe a glass or two before you go to bed. You think you're going to be hitting the head every 10 seconds, but after a while, most of us are dehydrated. After a while, after you start to consume high quality water, the best way to make water high quality is to hold the glass between your hands and send love from your heart directly into that water. The water registers your energy and your intent. I am telling you, it works. It is absolutely mind-blowing. Water is the most powerful tool that I can think of right now to escalate and to make this journey a happier and easier and smoother move, so to speak. I just needed to say that. Don't forget about the water, guys.
Yes. Well, thank you. I've been doing that with my water. I actually tell it I love it. I love you. And before I drink it, and it does taste a lot better for some reason. It's quite interesting. I also wanted to bring something really, really, something that we know already. Our wholeness and our consciousness help us draw forth our inherent qualities and our being. So everything we have is already there. I just want everyone to know that we have everything we need inside of us already. It's just a matter of tapping into that and asking those questions, those deep questions of yourself. I also encourage mirror work, where you stand in the mirror and, ask yourself questions, talk to yourself. I know it sounds a little crazy, but it works. So basically we have everything we need already. It's already in us. It's just a matter of uncovering it, or kind of digging in and finding the golden nuggets that we need in order to move ourselves forward. So I wanted to share that little bit. Andrea also came up. Hi, Andrea. Welcome.
Well, Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks, Dee, for the mic. Gerald, Sass, how are you?
Living the dream. My sister living the dream.
Sass, living the dream. When are you coming to Winnipeg, Sass?
Yes.
Come on, hurry up. Can't wait. Can't wait.
On.
Yeah, I'm getting I feel like I'm just getting my butt kicked, really. There's a lot of energetic change and I'm trying to ignore it, but it's tough. It's this whatever you want to call it, transmutation is it's wearing on me. Let's put it that way. I went for some energy work today. And I would be okay, I think, but when you spend so much time sort of combating narratives and trying to bring knowledge and you know what it's like to bounce off energy, right? I actually described it this morning as, these conscious, it's like, it sort of comes at you, you know what I mean? And you have to stand in, like Sass and Shadow Fox said, in the defender of your knowing, correct? Right? Nothing can get me down. Nothing will bring me. I won't let any discomfort in. But, I'm happy to see that we're in the year of 7, which is truth. And I'm happy that January 1st was a 9. And I don't know, I have my fingers crossed that the knowledge that's been here forever and ever and ever and a millennia might actually start hitting home more than, it has, I would hope. Those are my hopes for 2023. New awareness.
Andrea. Oh my God. I sorry, this is me butting in. Because what you just said while you were speaking, yeah, here's the butter. While you were speaking, something just downloaded to me, which I really want to share with you, because you said it's been really getting you down, that's what I heard you say. Maybe I'm wrong, but or it's just been really challenging and really difficult, and I could not agree more. However, I have discovered something recently that has been helping me enormously. And I didn't even remember to say it until you just said that. So just imagine dropping it all. Like, F it all. I am not going to defend myself. I am not going to try and heal anybody. I am not going to do anything other than just be in my own love. And whatever anybody says, that's where they are at, and that's fine. They're exactly where they're supposed to be. It is not up to me to change their goddamn mind or to show them the truth I am over it. It's not my problem anymore. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean in the way that you're now moving into honoring yourself and your own journey and your own joy in being. You don't need anybody else to come along with it. They will when they do. It's their choice. You sit there in your own divine awareness and with the joy and love that is your birthright. And you just sit there and you emit that. You don't need to do anything for anybody else ever again. You just be you. And that itself will effect a change in what you see around you. This is what I do on stage these days. I don't go on stage anymore to try to make anybody else feel better or to uplift. Like, it's not my job anymore. My job is to love what I'm doing. And the energy from that is going to affect anyone who's interested and wants to be in the same place. I don't have, it's creator does the work. I don't do it anymore. I just, like my brother Gerald was saying earlier, you're the conduit. You just be. It may sound that I'm not being flippant, and I'm not trying to say that, you know, oh, it's the easiest thing in the world, and yet it's a hell of a lot easier than fighting the good fight and trying to make people better and trying to make it. Fuck it, I say. Let it all go.
Well,
Excuse my language.
and it's not so much fighting it, but I don't fight it. I don't really care. I don't care.
Good.
You know what I mean, Sass?
Good.
Like, but it would be
Yeah.
like saying to Gerald, never go out and talk to anyone or try to uplift, right? And so some of us are called to bring higher awareness or bring higher perspective. There's lots of us in this room that are doing it, but I don't know, this transmutation, which is maybe this DNA correction for some of us. I don't know, Gerald. Is it cleaning out some of the old energy? But, you know, I run a business and I try to work for Creator. And yeah, so that's really what I mean, Sass, is people want to have conversations about higher knowing until it affects how they have to look at themselves. So I guess where it comes from, moreover, is these are very simple things, but man, oh man, it is really shocking how difficult they can be made. So I don't know. I can't really put my finger on what's happening, especially after I haven't done anything in 3 days. But I spend a lot. My motivation is in these rooms where, you know, trying to make people understand how consciousness is going to take over if they succumb to fear and how to find a different perspective. And there are days where you kind of go, I look up at my wall of masters, hey, Gerald, and I go, I don't know, you guys. You're going to be hard pressed to pull this off.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is a part of how I understand when Creator and the ancestors said that this is going to be a year of natural law once again for the human family and for creation as we know it. As conduits for Creator and the work that we do as light workers, we have to be very mindful of our words and of our actions as conduits. And we have to be very mindful of natural law. That natural law is what the world knows as karma. And we have to be very mindful and careful of the battles that we pick and choose. Because whatever battle you pick, there will be consequence, good or bad. And are you willing to pick a battle, choose a battle with some people who are not emotionally mature or spiritually evolved enough? It's like beating a dead horse. And it doesn't mean we throw them away or we cast them aside. We just have to take a break from them and realize they're not there yet. And that's okay, because everybody is at a different level on their journey. And the other thing that's happening, and the ancestors had said to me, was that be very mindful when you go down the spiritual road, that when you go down that rabbit hole, there's going to be rabbit holes within that rabbit hole. But also be mindful of where you go for your guidance, for your direction, for your healing. Because as the magic that the world knows as magic, we as spiritual people know as spirituality is returning back to humanity. But then we also have all these people who are self-professed spiritual people who are sharing on social media how to cast spells or how to do certain things that for us as further directional people, for those of us who have been taught by the eighth fire elders, that is not how you honor that sacred knowledge. You break those laws that come with that knowledge, traditional and spiritual, there will be consequence for it. So to be very mindful of that. But as a conduit, we have to be very mindful of our own words and our own actions. And that because if we are to help set and correct the world as light workers, as conduits, this is why they say healing is so important for the healers to heal emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. And if you really want to understand the spiritual knowledge and where this knowledge comes from, there are protocols that come with that when it comes to authentic spirituality. So for me, going into 2023, up until 2022, my 3 takeaways were not to be so quick to trust, meaning that there are people who come at us with masks of dark, who say they're of the light. But then it's always good to give the person the benefit of the doubt. And I've done that. But I've done that too many times where when the mask falls off, I need to be able to be more in tune with my spiritual understanding and my intuitive. My second takeaway was to be very mindful of who I surround myself with, personally and professionally. I need to continue surrounding myself with the same people on the same journey, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually as me. To do otherwise, I'm only stunting and hindering my own growth. And the third takeaway was to love myself with love, compassion, and boundaries in 2023. And that so as the world is correcting itself, always follow and understand that as conduits, as light workers, we have to self-check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. Because if we offer guidance and direction and healing to the people and we haven't done the work ourselves, we're not doing creator's work when we do that. We're actually hurting and playing with other people's lives. So
Thank you, Gerald. Yes, I so agree with that. And really focusing internally. I had to learn the hard way in that way where I had to, I stepped away from things that I was putting myself in and, wanting to help. Obviously, that was my goal, but people were not there yet. And I was wanting to help, and it was taking a lot of energy from me. I would feel sick afterwards, and it's not fun. And then I decided that I wanted to just continue moving on my path and sharing the knowledge I have and attracting the people that are willing and wanting to hear what it is that we wanted to say or that I wanted to say. So, yeah, thank you for that. Shadow Fox.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Gerald just dropped like the mic with these. This is something that is, wow. Thank you for that, because it's like the same information. I love it. This is where we have that beautiful synchronicity and coherence. And I guess and I don't know, maybe this can help Andrea a little bit. It's, we're all in this together, and some of us are a little further along than others in different awarenesses or either cultural aspects. But the thing is, the only thing we can do is if you are called to share or impart, whether it be wisdom within certain constraints, obviously. I just kind of look at it as planting seeds. And, a gardener, there are plants that, seeds take 20 years to actually then blossom. And so we can just plant the seeds, and remove or release any expectation on how those seeds, how or where those seeds fall, or who will pick it up and, kind of like run with it, so to speak. Like, we can say things that may resonate with someone, and it could take someone 6 months to truly address just one fraction of what someone has said. And so, in order for us to get over that hurdle of who's listening or who's doing this, or I think that it's just to release an expectation of how those seeds are going to develop. I say things, I bring information forward. Not everybody jumps on board with a technique or a tool or even a suggestion, and that's okay, because it could be 6 months later they'll go, hey, maybe I'll give it a try. So the only thing we can do is be true to ourselves and honor to the best of our ability that we are working and co-creating with Creator. That whether it be just, sometimes it could be just a smile or a hug that should be or could be given.
Thank you, Shadow Fox. Gerald, Sass, did you want to respond to that?
Go ahead, sister.
Well, I was just going to say I could not agree more. I think that's absolutely beautifully said. I love what Gerald said, and I love what you just said, Shadow Fox. It was just absolutely, you can just do what comes to you. That's your job. It's not your job to fix everybody else. It's not your job. It's your job to fix yourself, and then or fix yourself. That's assuming there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. What I mean is, it's your job to reveal the truth of who you are to yourself. And in doing that, you automatically, energetically will start to effect that same thing in anyone around you who's ready to do the same thing. That's how it happened to me. I was around people or information that helped me to start to reveal to myself what I truly am, which is the same as everyone else on this call. We're all fractals of the Creator. That's how I see it. Anyways, Gerald, what do you think?
Thank you for that, sister. And you're right. It's we're not here to save or heal anybody. We can only live and lead by example. When I had to spend the 6 years in the wilderness, I was told you can't lead anybody into the light if you can't even lead yourself from your own darkness. And that's where I had to look at the emotional, the mental, the physical, the sexual abuse I experienced growing up because of colonization, because of residential school, and I had to do that. And that's a part of why. But he also said to me, he said, you're not there to save or heal anybody. You can only lead them if you've done the work yourself. Then you will know actually how to lead them out of their own darkness. And I don't do what I do for a recognition or for respect. I do it because it's the agreement I did and I made for my Creator to help my fellow human being at this time. And I only have 15 more minutes left, and I see my former head Oscopio. He was my head helper in the last few years in ceremony. I'd love to have him jump on and acknowledge for anything that he may want to say, because his name is Ben Clayton. He's from London, England, but he's also a Western brother, and I've had him as my Oscopio because he gives my Western brothers and sisters the permission to participate in the ceremonies that we've been loaned by Creator. So, Dee, if Ben is still there, is there anything you can say, Ben?
I'm going to send him the mic. And in the meantime, we have Shalimar, so I'm going to have her speak real quick. Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead, Shalimar. Welcome. Happy New Year. Shalimar? Inanna? Oh, her mic is not working. Shalimar? Shalimar, can you hear me? Okay, Andrea, go ahead.
Sorry, I was, no, I mean, I think, well, and whatever. Anyways, I hope everybody has a great year. And for me, it is working with Creator. I go where I'm called to go. I go to work with perspective. I go to try to move a conversation, try to give new perspective. And when you run a business and you've committed to Creator in a time like this, and there's so much vision presented to you, it can be tiring. And I had a chance to sell my business a year ago, and I didn't due to my employees. And it wasn't the right time as well. That would be fair to say that. So it's the balance between the two. But really my point of the conversation was just to say how intense the energy is for people like us who are all doing our own thing in our own ways, to try to support humanity in the great change that we're going through. It's a big job, and kudos to all of us. I wouldn't call it a job. Everybody signed up for where they are. And may the force be with us, I guess, really. And may we all enjoy our path and our journey and the people that we find and encourage and smile with and laugh with. That's all. I think Shalimar's back, so I will say goodbye.
Thanks, Andrea. Shalimar.
Greetings, blessings. Hey, D. What's poppin',
Hey.
sis? Gerald, everybody in the space. Happy New Year, 2023. To everybody, this energy is definitely very uplifting. It is very, very potent right now, and I know that we all feel it. And this being a 7-year, 7 is the number of really self-reflection, being in yourself, being in your source, being with your spirit, really identifying the things that we've experienced over the last year and before, the things that triggered us, where we really are, being honest with ourselves, about who we are and what we desire in this life. Because I believe sometimes we can get caught up in this whole agenda of, us being healers and light workers and way shorers and different things like that, thinking we have to help everybody, thinking we got to be there for everybody and heal people and this and that and the third. And we have this mission to just save the planet. I mean, yeah, we do. But the first and the utmost mission is for us to connect to the divine source within ourselves. And that takes us being honest about what it is that burdens us in this life. This is my personal story. I was running a business last year. My higher spirit and I were communicating and was going down a checklist of things that did not feel good to me anymore. I had to release the business. I had to let go of the money. And I said, you know what? I've been here before. Spirit, I trust this process because I know that I'm heading somewhere that I need to be. I have children, they have needs, right? I know we all have needs. I was like, yeah, the holidays are here. My kids get things all the time, but they had expressed a desire for certain things. And I wanted to get that for them. And I would have had I had remained with my business. The universe does this beautiful thing because it said, give away what you have created. Give away what you were making money off of. So I started to give away the stuff that I made as gifts to people, just in gratitude and thankful that I was able to have fun and play and create and express myself and my creativity in that way. So when my spirit said it was time for me to let it go, I let it go and I gave everything away. The amount of money that I gave away, as far as if I had to give it a dollar amount, was about $2,000 worth of products that I had created with my hands. And as I sat in contemplation with my kids, I said, you know what, Spirit? My kids want bikes. My kids want tablets. This is what they desire. Christmas Eve, complete strangers came to our house. My children got bikes. My children got tablets. And I got gift cards to be able to, buy extra things that I desired and needed for my family. And so it really continues to prove to me, Spirit, God, Source, however you want to call it, continues to prove to me every single day to trust the process. Though it may seem like it may be a detriment to me. It was a blessing to my soul because it gave me time to just relax and be and get out of the rat race and the wheel that we spin ourselves in trying to get things done and make things happen all the time because we feel like we have these missions and stuff. Oh, when I freed myself of that, it felt so good. I'm now able to focus on the things that make me shine from within. I'm focusing more on the things that make me feel absolutely good and not worrying about anybody else but making me feel good. That's why I resonate so much with what Sass was saying. It's because the Bible says that if we let our light shine, that it will glorify our God in heaven, and men and women of the earth will see that. But we can't, our light's not shining because we're out doing things that don't feel good to us. The soul of the human man and the human woman is diminished right now. And that is what we need to tap in. We need to tap into the soul. We need to tap into the fire of our spirit to light up our heart, to melt the coldness from around our hearts so that we can be able to feel that connection with ourself, our source, our center. And if we're not feeling that, yeah, I felt it. I was frustrated. I didn't like what was going on. I was feeling tired when I was going to these events. You know, people were partying at these events and having a good time and singing and performing. And I'm out here vending, trying to sell products. And Spirit says, you're not even supposed to be doing this. You're supposed to be in there partying and kicking it and singing and stuff with these people. And I would take a break from the table and I would go inside and everybody would be having such a good time. I said, this is exactly what I should be doing. Not trying to make money, not trying to make ends meet, because the universe says we just follow the flow of spirit, no matter if it's a little bit or a lot. If you follow the beat of your heart, the beat of your soul, the pull of your spirit, you will always arrive at a place where your needs are met, where your needs are provided for. We just try to attach to how our needs are going to be met and provided for. So we are in resistance to our own soul. So I would just encourage people, if you are in that space, as I've just come out of, where you are in resistance and things are becoming a little bit heavy for you, it's because there's some things you need to let go. We're not meant to be carrying things. We're just supposed to just move and allow the river to carry us without trying to hold on to anything. And it will liberate your life. It will liberate your soul completely. And I yield the mic.
Woo! That was genius. I loved it. I love you, Shalimar. Thank you. I'm going to shut up now. Wow.
Oh, don't shut up. Oh my gosh. I don't want you guys to shut up. You have so much to share. Great source energies coming right through you guys, Sass, Gerald. You're sending all that energy out into the space and people are just, opening it all up. It's so fantastic. I know Gerald only has 5 minutes. I tried to bring your friend up, Gerald, but he's not responding to my request to bring him up in speaker mode. Benjamin, I'm trying again. Are you back?
He's in England, so that's probably about 1 o'clock his time now. So
He's probably.
he tried. Well, I can do one more question for me before I have to. Somebody has called ceremony this weekend, so I need to go check out the venue. That's kind of why I told him I'd be there in about half hour or so. So, is there anybody had any questions? Then
I would ask you, Gerald, what is the word for 2023? What's the focus, or what's the awareness? What do you got? Have you got any energy?
For 2023 is the world is correcting itself. So and for all the fellow light workers, all the conduits that are out there, it's time to band together, unite, speak for our fellow human beings who are still struggling, who are still trying to find their balance in life. And that is why it was being so important. I have been very honored to working with helping heal the healers in the last couple of years. And it is the next 7 years is going to be an amazing 7 years for those of us who have done the work, who continue to do the work. And for those who are going the opposite way, all we can do for them is pray for them for love, kindness, and compassion that they find their way. But the other message was that the children of the light are being activated right now. The children of the light are all those light workers, chosen elect, the sacred ones who have made that agreement to step into our power to help the people find their way, because the ancestors had said in the 6 years in the wilderness, there is light coming for humanity. But in order for the light to manifest itself, the world will go through a time of chaos, confusion, and mayhem to show them, to teach them what we have forgotten. The two things we have forgotten is our higher power and our fellow human being. And it's been a privilege, and it'll continue to be a privilege for me to work with all these light workers wanting to find that emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual balance. So for me, it's an amazing time. And like my sister Sass said, we are very privileged to live at such an amazing time of great change for our human family. And as the world is coming together, as the four races of humankind are coming together in love, light, and unity and healing, we as the conduits, as the light workers, have to come together, and we are coming together. And that's why with my sister Dee, doing this podcast, The Sacred Space, is a part of it, right? So much love and respect is what the word is for 2023.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sass, do you have any last words before we go? I know Gerald has to go, so let's, I'm curious to know if you have any last words for us.
It always makes me think of that motel called Journey's End. Like, who would call a motel Journey's? It sounds slightly ominous. But anyways, I think I acknowledge the challenge and the exhaustion and the feeling that we can all have at some point in the day or some point in the week where we just go like, what is going on? Like, I don't know if I'm up for this. However, I have the other side of me, which is, I would say, 10 times more powerful, because it always overtakes that doubt feeling. And that side of me is like, this is the most glorious ride of all time. I am thrilled to be in this game with all of you fantastic beings, all of us doing our very best. And I swear to God, we are multiplying our own light daily. It's just getting bigger and bigger, and I can feel it. I can feel it taking over the planet. 2023 is going to be a hell of a ride. I'm telling you, that's what it says astrologically, numerologically. We all know that, right? But it's going to be, it's the year of revelation. That's how I see it. And as my brother Gerald says, it may seem to be accelerating in the way the whole thing is just falling apart. But Gerald says, and I totally agree with him, as fast as it's falling apart, it will get back together again even faster. And to me, that is where my eyes are set. I go with God, I go with Creator. I love everyone on this call and many more. And I wish you all the most fantastic ride with me. Let's strap in, kids. I love ya.
Fantastic. Again, I want to thank Gerald Auger and Sass Jordan, co-creator. And Gerald is a native Cree Indian of Woodland. background and just sharing their knowledge and their messages and their downloads of what they're receiving with us. And I know we're going to have them back again with some more of their downloads. But for today, it's the end of this show. Up top, I have the Conscious Creation Inspired space. If anyone would like to join in, please do so. And I want to wish everyone a great new year and continue to go deep within. You know, it's about you. This is all about you. And continue going onto the path. And I'm so glad you all attended. Thank you.